Hey there. I decided to turn the camera on real quick and record a video because I had some things that were on my mind. And first of all, take a look because your girl is wearing 15 layers of makeup. Just got back from a photo shoot, and that's part of the reason why I was thinking, let me get these thoughts out of my head. This is a photo shoot that is actually going to serve multiple purposes. We've got some really big things that are coming up for the melanated midlife. But aside from that, I wanted to take you to the moment that we decided to do this photo shoot. So, my partners in this whole little project, they came up with the idea, we need more assets, more whatever. They're thinking about the creative side of things. And I said, let's take some studio time and do a photo shoot. And I had a moment without even thinking about it, not being rational at all. My knee-jerk reaction was to say, no, I don't want to do it. And not necessarily that it wasn't a need, because again, we've got some big projects that are in the works right now, but it was more about me being all in my head and thinking of, how is it going to look? What am I going to look like? Am I gonna, walk around looking like a square duck or something? I don't know. All the crazy insecurities that pop up in your head whenever there's something big that's happening and you immediately shrink in that moment and just say, no, that I can't do that for no rational reason at all. And I had to stop myself and literally stop talking to tell myself, shut up and just think for a second. Can you do this? Absolutely. Should you do this? Of course you should. So all of those reasons, all of those insecurities, all of those things that are telling you that you're not worthy of this moment, just shut them up for a moment. And as we were packing up all the things, doing the makeup, getting all the outfits together for this photo shoot, I had a moment of immense gratitude for the version of myself that decided to just show up today, to literally just show up and pretend to be that evolved version of myself that wouldn't give something like this a second thought, that would think, oh yeah, you need to do a photo shoot. Yeah, girl, you looking good today. You need to show it off, or, go rock those outfits, whatever the moment. And even though I wasn't fully feeling like that person, I decided to show up and just step into those shoes for just a couple of hours, and it felt really good. And I just remember all of the different times that I tell other people that you got to step outside of your comfort zone, that you got to do the scary things and just kind of, put in the reps and show up as the person that you're capable of being. And that was that moment today. So I just, had all the thoughts, all of the crazy reasons why I didn't want to, why I wanted to shy away from that moment in the spotlight. And when I finally just decided to go for it and do it, everything turned out okay. And now, if you were to ask me tomorrow, hey, do you want to go do another photo shoot? Do you want to do another video shoot? I'd be like, yeah, no problem. I got this. I've already done this before. This is familiar ground. So it's like every time you step up to a new level, that then becomes your baseline. And then when you step up to the next level, that becomes your baseline. And before you know it, you've already climbed the mountain and you start looking back at all of the past versions of yourself that were courageous enough in that one split-second decision to show up and do that big, scary thing. And be grateful for that. I give those past versions of myself a lot of grace because they said yes in a moment when I could have just hid behind the curtain, could have hid under my covers, which, good Lord, you seeing all my messy junk because I haven't finished my laundry this week and, haven't made my bed and all that stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to capture this moment because it when you have that feeling of gratitude, when you have overcome whatever that scary thing is, and you kind of take a deep breath and say, yeah, I did that. I want to have this little moment to share with you because it meant something today. And don't get me wrong, this is not my first photo shoot. I've actually done a photo shoot before, but I looked at those photographs and I had a conversation with someone just the other day, kind of wondering, can you use some of those old pictures? Can you use some of the things that were from that previous photo shoot? And I looked at them very seriously and said, no, not that they weren't quality pictures. They were beautiful pictures, but I recognize the version of myself that was in those photographs. And I said, no, that's not me anymore. There's more that I have to give now. There's more that I'm willing to show up for now. And I wanted to be able to capture that as me in the present tense. So that's how today ended up working out. And want to give a shout out to my photographer, Patrick Thompson, who was there the whole way, giving me all of the direction. As corny and as goofy as I was, we made it work and we got a lot of good stuff out of it. So you will see all of this very, very soon. Like I said, it's no big secrets. I got really cool things coming, so you really need to stay tuned for some announcements, some releases. I'll say that, hint, hint, some releases that are coming in the fall. So if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, this would be a very good time to do so you can be among the first to find out what goodness is coming very, very soon. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. I'm going to go celebrate. Even though it may seem like a little thing, it's kind of a big thing because I had my little big girl moment today. So hopefully you get to have moments like that for yourself this week.